Uh-oh, here we go. It's that time. Thursday night edition. We're coming back. Who we are? You know who we are. We're those dudes from XO Sports Talk Radio Live. We're all over the internet. We're everywhere, y'all. Welcome to our Thursday night edition. Listen, tonight is going to be a night. We are the three amigos or the 3 degrees. We're trying to find out where Aaron is. I think he took another job with another podcast that was paying him more. We don't know. Malcolm, he's at parts unknown right now, but we're going to find him. But, you know how a band breaks up, and somebody wants to go solo and somebody else wants to do another solo career. So here we are. XO Sports Talk. We're ready though, huh? Here we go.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
How's everybody doing, man?
What's up?
The 3 amigos. Here we go.
Yeah, we're down 2 good men tonight, but they had some prior obligations, so we're gonna just do the show. And I think Aaron is trying to get another podcast going behind our back.
I think so, man.
Hey, come on, man. Come on back, Aaron.
That salary, man. I thought we were paying him enough, man. I thought we were paying him enough.
Sports. We give vacation time without pay.
Yeah, man.
That's what we do, man.
We let you work from home and everything. Come on, man. Huh?
And on that note, we at XO Sports, we would like to thank all our viewers and listeners for their support. We're currently streaming on all media and podcast platforms. Just an example, you got Apple, Spotify, iHeart. If you're in your car, you can definitely tune us in that way. YouTube, we want to thank our fans, and definitely you can hit that subscribe and that notification bell. That'd be greatly appreciated. And on with the show.
Thank you, fans. We love y'all from wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in weekly.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely.
For sure.
But hey, week 1 of the NFL, an exciting week.
Woo-hoo.
The NFL had a good week, and a good week for the fans too. So
yeah.
With that being said, we're gonna talk about a couple of the highlight games that happened this week. A lot of unexpected things happened too. So we'll get into the Cowboys Tampa game right off the bat.
Oh man,
yes.
Terry, come on, man. I'm heartbroken right now, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna save.
We was right there, man. We were right there, man. We were right there.
Hold on to that thought, because we're gonna save you for last, because we know you got a lot of excuses. So, but anyway, Brian, what are your thoughts on that game?
It was a very exciting game. On the opposite note, I thought Dallas would lose. I thought they would lose badly, honestly. But they showed me that they played well. I was surprised the way Dak came out. Honestly, I thought they would come out the opposite. I thought they would run the ball and let Dak get his feet wet. And he came out passing, looking accurate. Threw for 58 attempts, over 400 yards passing, 3 TDs, 1 INT. That 1 INT, CG Lamb should have caught that ball, but it went right through his hands. So he actually played well. And on the flip note with that, I wonder if they show somewhat of a blueprint of how to attack Tampa. You can't run the ball on them. Their middle, interior, and D line is just tough, and they just spread it out and they just slung the ball around. So hats off. My concern is, will Dallas play good in a game that is not so high profile? Will they still be able to keep that intensity and play the same way they did? So hats off. Very great game.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It was I didn't expect Dak. I didn't expect the Cowboys to play as well as they did. I mean, I didn't expect that offensive line to hold up as well as they did and protect Dak the way they did. They did a great job. Dak looked good. You know, Brady was Brady on the other side of the ball. Tampa, Brady was Brady. I mean, he threw for 300 yards, 2 TDs. He did have 2 interceptions though, which was I didn't expect Dallas's defense to turn him over twice as well. But you know, it came down to, in my opinion, besides that pass interference call, you know, you got a missed field goal, 31 yards, and then an extra point attempt. I feel like that came back to haunt him. And then I know that defense for Tampa, that D line and the linebackers are tough, but man, where was Zeke at? You know, I didn't expect that, but I expect Zeke to make more of an impact next week, so we'll see. But man of the hour, what are your thoughts?
Well. Well, let me start by saying this. We went into Tampa Bay, those Dallas Cowboys of mine, and we showed the world that we're ready. We're ready for prime time. We're ready for anybody that we have to line up against each week, each and every week. I was more impressed. You said something about Zeke. Zeke played a hell of a game in blitz pickup and pass protection. I know he wasn't that effective on the ground, and I don't know who can run against that front seven that they have with Vita and Ndamukong Suh up there and the rest of those guys, Jason Pierre-Paul. I mean, they're just stout up there. I want to give Kellen Moore a great deal of credit for calling the game that he called, being able to spread them out, work them out on the outside, and work in between the lines there, and they attack. We lost one of our receivers in Gallup. We didn't have a top all-pro guard in Martin, but I'm not making excuses. I like the Mike Tomlin concept. Next man up. You know, with that being said, we coming back. The Cowboys are back. You better watch out. We just took notes on the league that we took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their building to the brink. And if it wasn't for our field goal kicker, and I won't talk about the push-off on that last drive, should have been an offensive pass interference. But next game, let's go.
All right, man. Always this week, always next week.
Yeah.
But anyway,
can't blame it on the kicker next week.
Yeah, right. Well, to me, what was a shocker of a game, the Packers versus the Saints. What are your thoughts on that game, Em?
Well, I had no clue. I'm still picking my mouth up off the floor because nobody can do that to an Aaron Rodgers-led team. He's that man, that bad man. But give big ups to the Saints and their organization, the coaching staff. They came to play, and Jameis Winston looked good. He didn't have a whole lot of yards per se, but he played within the structure of the offense, and he didn't make any of the mistakes that had haunted him over the years past. Maybe it was that LASIK surgery he got during the offseason. I don't know. But the Saints, they just came out there and they manhandled the Green Bay Packers, and Aaron Rodgers got benched. That was big news. You know, call it garbage time or what have you, but he got benched. So I look for them to bounce back this week.
What are your thoughts, Brian?
Only person who predicted this game and won on this game is somebody who owns the casino. They're the only ones that won on this one. Nobody had this.
Nobody.
Well, I got to give them credit. Winston played well. The talk of the town was Aaron Rodgers. Everybody know that. But I like the way Winston composed himself after the game. Little things matter. He just had on a nice suit, and he just basically was like, you know, this and that, said all the right things, nothing flamboyant. And that's what you want, especially he's coming in, going to be your starting quarterback, the franchise of your team. You want him to have that structure to kind of fold out to everybody else. So they played a great game, but the story is Aaron Rodgers, definitely. Basically, nobody seen that coming. He had 133 yards passing, 2 INTs, with everything that's happened in the offseason. So basically, that's the storyline. And the storyline will be next week, if he has another bad game, what happens then? That just, the story just keeps going. Is he tanking?
Yeah.
Or is he just not playing well? What happens? What does the team do? Do they trade him? It just opens up everything. So
it will.
all eyes will be on him next week and the team, but all eyes will definitely be on Aaron Rodgers.
He only had 3 points.
3. Yeah.
3.
Yeah. Like, you know, I was in total shock. You know, the Saints came out and they dominated this game from start to finish. You know, the one thing I'll say about Aaron Rodgers and the rest of the Packers team, you know, he didn't really get much time in terms of reps in camp. I'm not sure. I don't remember if he got any preseason time in, so that could have been a reason why they looked out of sync. I mean, he got pulled from the game with like 11 minutes left in the game. I mean, I don't make a big deal out of it. It's like, I feel like the coach was like, they're out of sync. Let's just pull him, make sure he doesn't get hurt. Like Brian said, though, well, next week is going to tell the story, how he performs. And then if it doesn't go so well next week, you probably may want to maybe start looking for teams to trade him to. But you know, that remains to be seen. But, you know, Jameis Winston, 5 TDs. I'm actually happy for the man because, you know, he's in the league for a reason. He stayed in the league in a reason because teams felt like he had a lot of talent, and he does. And I just feel like, you know, sometimes it takes certain players or individuals to kind of mature. And like Brian said, he came out with that suit. You know, early on in his career, he kind of had that all about me attitude, but now I think he gets it. He's got the big picture now. And I'm hoping he could keep it up. And if he does, it's nothing but big things for the Saints this upcoming season.
And can we give Coach Sean Payton, his just due? He's a coach.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a coach.
Yeah, he's definitely an offensive wizard out there. And
Definitely.
Winston is in the perfect situation. He already can, you know, he can toss the ball around. It's just just don't turn it over. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
But again, hey, nobody expected the Saints to hold Green Bay to 3 points. So let's see if that defense can keep it up.
You got that right.
Yep. And then getting into another barn burner of a game, that Cleveland's Chiefs matchup.
Wow.
You know, what do you think about that, Em?
Listen, man, you're talking about must-watch TV. That should have been in 3D on 5G and everything else. Everybody should have just stopped what you were doing when you heard what the score was and tune into that game. That's what kind of game it was. I mean, just going back and forth. My hat off to Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. They fought, they scratched, they clawed. They were right there into the thick of things. But here he comes, Patrick Mahomes, the half of, $500 million man. I remember watching as a kid, $6 million man, Steve Austin, but Patrick Mahomes is the $500 million plus man. Listen, what a performance by Andy Reid and the organization there and the coaching staff, being able to take a punch. Listen, we going back and forth. It reminded you of like a Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier fight. They were just going blow for blow, blow for blow. And I'm telling you, it was just must-watch TV. I couldn't leave the room. I was on the edge of my couch the whole time. What a great game in week 1 of the NFL.
Sure. Brian?
It was an electrifying game. I was on the phone with Aaron. We was watching the game at halftime, and he was like, "Oh, this game look like they're done." I was like, "Nah, I don't think so." And basically, second half, you just seen Kansas City just turn the lights on, and it was like the Browns was running like roaches. So So it was just something to see. The Browns played a well game to beat mostly any team, but it just shows how explosive Kansas City offense is. They are like the Golden State Warriors of football. When they are clicking,
They're clicking, man.
and they put up 23 points in the second half. Browns just couldn't match that. They couldn't do anything. Tyreek Hill cannot be D'd one-on-one. So you put two on him and you still got trouble.
Yeah.
But he is electrifying. Mahomes. He shows what a pocket and mobile quarterback can do. If you put those two things together, he's that person. And it was one of the games that you had to see. And if you didn't, you missed a great game. But I'm glad Cleveland lost because they're in my division. So.
Yeah,
I hear you. But yeah, I was, to be honest, I was surprised at halftime when I saw the score. I felt like it was going to be a high-scoring game, but, you know, the Browns' defense dominated that entire first half. I mean, that Jadeveon Clowney pickup, it's going to pay big dividends for them.
Yes, it will. Yes,
they were.
He's a problem.
Exactly. You know, Chiefs were down. What? I think it was like 12 points in the fourth quarter, and you know, I know we were all thinking the same thing. It's not enough points. Not enough.
Right.
And then, like Brian said, here they come. You know, the Browns. I feel like they had this game, and they kind of shot themselves in the foot. You know, kind of, and everything kind of just started building on one mistake after the other. You know, Chubbs fumbled the ball.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yep.
Big, really big. And then you had blown coverage on that 75-yard TD, Mahomes to Tyreek Hill. I don't know what happened. I don't know how you blow coverage on him, but it happened. And then you had that fumble snap by the punter. And then from there, you know, Mahomes just took over. And then once all that happened, you knew the Chiefs were going to win the game. But nonetheless, I mean, the Browns played a good game. To me, they showed that why they're going to be a tough out in their division.
Yeah.
Whoever they play.
Remember, I picked them. I picked the Browns to be in the championship game.
I remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just in case you have to go back to some of the old footage or, you know, old episode. Yeah, I picked the Browns right there.
Yeah, well,
got it right on the sticky.
We're gonna see. I think for now, I mean, the Browns, this game is gonna haunt them until they could prove otherwise, that they could beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And they're still without Odell Beckham too. So
that is true.
We gotta count that. We gotta put that into, you know. So.
And they still played well. They just lost.
So guys, Steelers Bills. No, I'll let Brian go last on this one since the Steelers are his team. But tell us a little bit about what you thought about this.
Listen, man, I had the Browns and the Buffalo Bills playing for the AFC championship, with one of those two teams knocking off the Chiefs in the earlier round. But I had these two teams playing for the AFC championship game to represent the AFC going to the Super Bowl. Buffalo disappointed me, and I'm sure they disappointed their fans and their fan base. I was really surprised, but I'm telling you, the Steelers, they're just gritty. They're tough. Mike Tomlin, I've always loved him as a coach. He just brings his team ready to play week in, week out. No matter what the injury report says, he's going to find somebody. He's going to fill in the gaps. Next man up. I love that model with Mike Tomlin. He's always been a hands-on coach, and I love his coaching style and how he has his teams ready to play week in and week out. I wasn't surprised what the Steelers did from that perspective, because they're just known as a hard-nosed team. They're going to blitz you. They got all kinds of blitz packages they're going to bring you, and they play hard. But Buffalo, you just didn't show me anything. You act like you weren't ready to play. And hats off to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Big win for the Steelers.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this game was gonna be close.
Yeah.
I just didn't see the Steelers pulling this one out. But I'll say this: I kind of feel like Buffalo kind of went into this game kind of thinking that they were better than the Steelers, just having that attitude and not
last
showing
year.
up.
From what they did last year. Yeah, yep. I believe that. Yes.
And not showing up to play. And like you said, Mike Tomlin, he's going to have his team ready at all times. Doesn't matter if they're on the road, at home. They're going to play hard. And, TJ Watt. I don't know why they were waiting to pay this man, because he came up big. He had 2 sacks.
Came up big.
Yeah, forced a fumble.
Came up big.
You know
what, Terry? I know what it was. He told everybody, I'm taking you out to dinner with my new contract that I just got. So there you are. So the trainers, he's taking out the trainers, the equipment coach, everybody. Hey, listen, PJ Watt just got a new contract. We're going to win this game tonight. All right? You know how he do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this kid is good. I mean, you might start wanting to have some discussions of, is he as good as his brother? If not better.
Those discussions are there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those discussions are there.
Definitely.
But, another thing that surprised me was the Steelers defense held the Bills to just 1 touchdown. I did not expect that to happen.
Right.
But they're gritty. They were able to force that block a punt on special teams, and that was huge.
Mm-hmm.
That turned the game around.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
hats off to them. I wanted them to lose, but they didn't.
Yeah, so did I.
I'll turn it over to Brian so he can add some fluff to that win.
Yeah. Everybody likes some fluff every now and then. So I'm going to put on my Mike Tomlin hat, but it was a gritty game. It was a game he said it wasn't going to be pretty. It was defensive intensity on both sides. Steelers got that win. I think T was pretty accurate. I think Buffalo came in with the mentality from last year, and that came back and haunt them a little bit. With that, I think the Steelers still need to look internally at some of the things. I thought, to me, Najee Harris only having 45 yards rushing, that kind of scares me a little bit. I know that offensive line is still trying to find it. We had 188 yards passing. So that's another issue. There was one time Buffalo went man on man and they only had 1 safety high, and they was like, you're going to have to throw the ball deep. And he did do it, but it seemed like they just changed their defensive philosophy, and they was like, you're just going to have to throw over the top and beat us. So next team is probably going to copy the same thing, because Ben really didn't throw any pass longer than 10 yards. It was a lot of nickels and dimes once again. So
I was going to mention that too, Brian.
Yeah. So being a Steelers fan, I got to be honest. I'm still a little worried, and hopefully they can improve on that, because they got the offensive weapons at the wide out. Just can that offensive line give Ben time? So.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, maybe he just needs some time to warm up. He's a little older now, so needs some time to warm up back there.
Just a little bit. Oil.
Yeah. But getting into another game, which I don't know how you guys feel, but I felt it was a shocker. Arizona versus Tennessee. What are your thoughts on that, Em?
Took me by surprise. I was looking for the Derrick Henry show, Julio Jones show, all those weapons they have, and the additions that they made during the offseason, defensively and offensively. They laid an egg. They just came right out and laid an egg. I mean, I didn't know what was going on. I was trying to figure out if it's the same team that I was watching last year. And like we said, fellas, there's 17 games now. I heard Aaron Rodgers say something about on a podcast after they lost, said, we just played our 4th preseason game. meaning we're just trying to warm up here and get things going. But right now, you have to play for positioning down the stretch later on in the year where these early games can matter. Where you play at in the playoffs or fighting for a playoff position. So Tennessee, you really disappointed me. I actually picked you guys to win this game, but hats off to Kyler Murray. What a problem he's going to be this year. Listen, him and D-Hop and the rest of that offense that they got going on, just whenever he lines up on the field, you have to account for Kyler Murray. You can put a spy over him, whether it's a safety or a linebacker. I wouldn't put a linebacker on him. You're just going to just waste your time there. You better put a safety over there. But now he just has so many options to use his legs, to use his arm strength. There was one throw he was throwing on the run. I just thought he was throwing it away. And the receiver just ran underneath and caught it. And I'm like, look at this guy. You know, he's doing all those things. And I know he's always had that mentality. Y'all said I couldn't do this because I wasn't tall enough or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. He's a quarterback in the NFL and he's a pure athlete, and Kyler Murray is going to be a problem. Cardinals, that's going to be a tough out. Oof.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I this game to me, I expected the opposite to happen. Basically, I was expecting Tennessee to come out and dominate this game like Arizona did. And, you know, like you said, Kyler Murray and D-Hop, they dominated Tennessee's defense. And then on the flip side, you know, Chandler Jones, he was a menace out there. He ended up with 5 sacks, and he had 3 in the first quarter alone.
He was a monster.
Yeah. And I just, you know, Tennessee's offensive line, it was just awful.
You mean non-existent?
Yeah.
Did they even show up? Did they did they come on the field? I mean,
yeah, it was bad. I mean, Tannehill was under pressure all game. Derrick Henry, he had basically no room to run. Their all line, it was total opposite of what I expected. I expected that offensive line to dominate. I really expected them to mix it up a little bit, which may have been part of the problem. You know, last year, you knew what their cadence was on offense: run, pass. And they did the same thing this past Sunday. And, you know, they're going to have to change that up because they do have some weapons, you know, in A.J. Brown. But we'll see. But, you know, this week, their offensive line couldn't stop a nosebleed. That's how bad it was.
Yeah. It was bad, Terry. It was real bad.
Bleeding a lot of Arizona red.
Exactly.
And Kyler Murray just looked spectacular out there, like you said, having 4 TDs. I think Tennessee, we talked about this before our show where we did our preseason picks, and we was wondering what Tennessee offense was going to come out looking like. Would it be finesse? Would they still play smash mouth football? But they looked like they didn't know what they wanted to do. That offensive line just was out there going through drills. And Henry only had 58 yards rushing, and that's not typical. And Mike Vrabel team, and you don't expect that. But we'll see what they can do next week, if they can bounce back, and how that offense will look is what I'm going to be looking at. So
we'll see. We shall see. But I don't like it because they're in my division. So, you know.
I think I had them coming in second.
Yeah. Hopefully that's still the case. But, moving right along, 49ers at the Lions. What are your thoughts on that, Brian?
Your team came out like we said they should come out. They come out, dominate, and jump on top of them. And then all of a sudden, they lost their groove. They lost Stella. They lost something. I don't know what they was looking for, but they just let them back in the game. And then you just start seeing the Lions get the rhythm and the momentum, and they almost came back and won, and it wouldn't have been good. Jimmy G did come out. He did what he needed to do. Worst case scenario was for him to have a bad game, and he played well. Yeah, I got to give him that. But for some reason, they just tripped over them own self, and they couldn't stop it. And then the floodgates open, and next thing you know, you're in a tight game. But we'll see what you guys can do next week. Hopefully, you will continue to be what you want to be. I don't know what that is, but we'll figure it out once we see.
Yep. Em, I'll turn it over to you, Em.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Brian. Jimmy G, he did what he had to do. He drove the car to the prom and he brought it back home and put it back in the driveway with no scratches or things on it, But I know everybody was a little nervous, around after midnight, and he wasn't home yet because the Lions looked like they were on their way back. And I know, Terry, I was texting you, and I think I sent something to you in the group text and said, watch out, here it comes, huh? Big up to the 49ers. They found a way to win. You have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and they did just that. I just didn't think Detroit had a chance, and I don't know what, but I didn't think they were going to show up. But I got to give it to them. They did fight. They did scratch, and they did claw. And they said, we're not going to get embarrassed out here today on the opening week of the NFL. And the Lions played hard, but the 49ers, my hat goes off to you. You guys showed up, and you did what you had to do to get the W, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm happy for the win. They did what they were supposed to do. They just let their foot off the gas. I saw the post-game show or interview with Nick Bosa. He said he had his tape off. He thought the game was done. He had to tape back up and get back in there. So it's just a mental letdown. They let their foot off the gas. I'm not too worried. I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. I was a little nervous on that first snap. Jimmy G fumbled the snap, but
I know you were. I know you were.
He did. He could not afford to get off to a bad start, but he didn't. No turnovers. Deebo Samuel had 9 catches for 189 yards.
He's a beast, man. Samuel, I love Samuel.
Yeah,
he's the truth.
Trey Lance, he was able to come in and get a TD pass, which is good. Even though Raheem Mostert got hurt.
That was big. I think he's out for the year, right?
They're not sure yet.
Okay.
The last I heard, they were still evaluating him.
Yeah.
But
a lot of injuries this week too.
Yeah. But our rookie running back, Elijah Mitchell, came in and he finished with 104 yards rushing. So
he looked pretty good. I was like, okay, who is this kid? Okay.
Yep. Kittle did his thing, 4 receptions, 78 yards.
That's what he did.
So we did what we were supposed to do. We got to beat the teams who we're supposed to beat.
Yep.
And
can you admit that you were nervous? Were you nervous? I want to hear that. I want to hear that. I want to hear you say that on that.
Yeah, you was nervous. I couldn't even get you on the group text.
On the air. Come on.
No. Come on. When you guys sent the text, I was eating.
I always say that. Yeah, I did this, I did that. Yeah.
I had to cut the grass. I had to water the grass.
Okay.
But talk about that probably the most exciting game this week was that Ravens Las Vegas Raiders game.
Man. Can I go on that one, Terry? Can I start off, man? Electric. Listen, Vegas had a party. There was a party in Vegas. If you wasn't there, you're wrong. That's because of Jim. All right. But listen, man, I'm telling you, what a game. I mean, back and forth. Another Muhammad Ali and Ken Norton fight, or one of them Ali and George Foreman fights. They just was going back and forth, and everybody just slugging it out. And you just didn't know when the game was going to end. You thought it was going to end one way, and somebody fumbled, or the interception, or the pass bounces off the player, goes up in the air, and another. Listen, if you went to sleep early, you missed the great game on Monday night. Listen, I'm telling you, it was must-watch TV in Vegas, and I know there was a party going on. That's the scary part right there. What happened after the game?
Yeah.
You know, they say what happens in Vegas, it stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
What a game. Hats off to both of those two teams going at it. And I look for the Ravens to bounce back this week. I think they're like in a must-win situation when they go against the Kansas City Chiefs this week. So Lamar Jackson, you know, a little costly fumble there. He's going to have to learn how to take care of the ball a little bit better in crucial situations. And they're just going to, hopefully they can limit his hits. I know they were just injury decimated. I mean, they got injuries all over the board. I think the guy that parks the cars, I think he has an injury. I think one of the equipment managers has an injury. I think the guy the chef that cooks for them, I think he has an injury. I think he stubbed his toe or something. They got injuries everywhere, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Ravens,
that is
man,
true.
Get healthy, man. I don't know, man. Call in another team, doctors, get some more. Instead of recruiting for players, they might just have to start recruiting for doctors. I mean, that might be who's going to be the number one doctor pick for the Ravens because they got injuries all over the place, man. I hope everybody gets healthy soon.
Yep. Terrell Owens is trying to make a comeback, so
yeah, maybe they might sign Dez Bryant back again. I mean, anybody, you know,
signing Dez. Oh, he runs a 4.7.
Nah, probably a 5.2. I think I can beat Dez Bryant running right now. Huh?
Yeah.
But Brian, what did you make of the game?
It was a very exciting game. I'm not gonna lie, I watched it on replay because I fell asleep. So I caught it late. But everybody was talking about it. I was like, let me see what everybody was talking about. But it was a very exciting game from what I saw. Derek Carr, I already thought that he was a good quarterback. You just got to put pieces around him. Yeah, he made some big time throws.
Big time throws.
Yeah. Both teams played well. We know Baltimore, like E said or Emerson said, that they are decimated with injuries. Got 2 running backs that they just picked up off the street, basically. But they got to find a way to limit Lamar Jackson's hit. He was getting teed off. That was just game one.
That's going to hurt him.
Yeah, and that's not going to work. 17-game season, that's not going to work. And it's not going to work in longevity in your career either.
No.
Look at somebody like Cam Newton we talked about before. He's bigger, stronger, and his shoulder never been right ever since. So, work on your craft. He has to do that because
protect yourself.
Yeah,
protect yourself.
Yep. Yeah. They say it's a business decision. You have to make sure you're around to cash in. They'll just do next man up. So it was a great game, but he just gotta limit those hits, man. He was getting teed off.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it was a great game, especially for the fans. I mean, all the fans in the stands out there in Vegas, you could just see they were having a good time, and they were into the game big time when the Raiders were losing. Yeah. But, you know, I felt like, you know, the Ravens had this game. They basically, first half, Lamar Jackson was doing really good. He was accurate in the first half.
Yes.
But then that second half, the Raiders defense kind of put together a few stops in that third quarter. And the game was just back and forth because, you know, the Raiders were marching the ball downfield. And then next thing you know, Derek Carr got sacked a few times. You could see he was getting frustrated because he did have some good drives, but a couple of them late in the game ended up in sacks. And then, you know, he was able to put together a rhythm. And I think he threw for like 435 yards. And I'll say one thing. Another star of that game to me was that the tight end, Darren Waller. I think he might be one of the top 3 tight ends in the league. You know, I'll put Travis Kelce, and then Kittle, and then I'll put Waller in there at 3. He's tough. I mean, he's quick too. He's wide receiver quick. So,
yeah.
But it was a great game. Like you said, I like to see Lamar Jackson start to sit back in the pocket and make an impact from there. Rather than getting out and running.
We just don't want to see him get hurt, man.
Exactly. But again, a great game for the fans. I mean, that was the most exciting game of the week.
Fans were there.
Yeah.
They even had Woodson, man. Charles Woodson was in the stands, man.
Yep. Did see him.
Woodson. Sure, a lot of other celebrities were there too, man.
Yep. That's a nice
I was
stadium.
trying to get there. My flight got canceled. I had a jet that was supposed to pick me up. And they told me Aaron borrowed the jet and used the Exo Sports account to use the private jet. So I couldn't get to the game.
So he's still there, you saying?
Yeah, that's why he's not here on the show, So we'll figure that one out.
Yeah.
Sounds like a check
move.
bounce. One of the
Get the lawyers ready, Brian. Huh?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if Vegas can build on this, because I really didn't expect them to do well this season, and definitely didn't expect them to win this game. But we'll see.
Yeah.
But we got some good games coming up this week.
Yes.
Again, exciting games. A lot of conference matchups, starting with tonight's game, New York at Washington. Fellas, just give me your picks on these games, upcoming games.
I'm taking Washington tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to take Washington. I'm going to take
Washington.
Even though they don't have a quarterback, I'm taking Washington.
I like Washington's defense. I'm going to Washington.
Yeah. Same here. They're at home. Just given the way the Giants played, I expect Washington to win this one.
Yeah, that offensive line for the Giants.
Yeah,
still.
Daniel Jones is running for his life too.
He is. You can't drop dimes like that.
Right.
Yeah,
a whole bunch of pennies right now.
Every time he drops back.
So I expect that D line to go wild on them tonight.
Yeah, I agree. Houston at Cleveland. Who you got, Em?
I'm going with the Browns. They're going to be mad, and they're going to play mad, and they're going to do everything they can to destroy Houston. Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Big in this game.
Brian?
I'm going to go with Cleveland. Like I said before, I think Cleveland played well enough last week to beat most teams. It's just they came up against a high potent offense, and not the Titans, Texans, not that. So I'm going with the Browns.
Yeah, same here. I expect them to be a little upset off of last week's loss, and I think they have the better team, so I see Cleveland pulling it out. Rams, Indianapolis. Rams, Colts. Who you got, Em?
I like the Rams in this game. I think the defense is starting to gel. I think they're going to come together, and they're going to make a solid impact in this game. And that Aaron Donald guy, listen, he's just a monster in the middle. I like the Rams in this game. Defense wins championships.
What do you got, Brian?
I'm taking the Rams. The pickup of the quarterback that they picked up is just showing that it was just a tool away from just being the team that everybody thought they could be. But that offense was slinging the ball around, and the defense is pretty decent, or actually very good. They lost some key players, so I'm going to go with the Rams.
Yeah, I have to go with the Rams too. I just feel like they're a better team, and then that offense, just seeing how they played this past week, and with Aaron Donaldson, they could be a problem. I hope not, again, because they're in my division, but they could be a problem with that offense clicking the way it is. Buffalo at Miami. Who you got, Em?
Listen, man. Miami, man. I like the weather down there. The way the trees be swinging, man. Listen, Buffalo, man. I don't know, man. I've seen teams before have a season the year, the previous year, and they just don't look the same. I don't know if they didn't get enough time in preseason, but I like the Dolphins. I think they're going to come. All those number 1 picks they got, all those number 2 picks, high draft picks they got, those picks should start to pay off now. And I think the Dolphins pulled this one out this week.
Right. Brian?
This is going to be a tough game. Tough to pick. I'm going to go with the Bills. I think they're going to try to redeem themselves from the game that they played last week. So I think the Bills. Wouldn't be surprised if Miami win, but I'm going to go with the Bills.
All right. Yeah. That's how I feel. I think the Bills are going to look to redeem themselves and get back to their old selves like they were playing last year. Coming off that loss to the Steelers. This will be a revenge game for them, and they'll pull it out.
Yep.
So for the rest of the games, we're gonna go lightning round. Just give me your picks.
Yep.
New England at New York. Jets. M.
I'm going New England.
Brian.
Jets.
Jets. Wow. I'm going New England. Going New England on that one. San Fran at Philly. M.
San Fran, you need to beat Philly. They're in my division. I need them to lose. So San Fran, I'm pulling for you.
Ryan?
San Fran.
Yep. I got San Fran going all the way. Super Bowl champions 2021. I got them winning this game.
We're having an internet right now.
Vegas at Pittsburgh.
Black and gold. Anything other than that is unacceptable.
I like Pittsburgh in this game right here. I still think the Raiders have a few things they need to do, especially playing the caliber team like the Steelers. I like Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Pittsburgh. I agree with M. Vegas has got some things they need to address. I'm going Pittsburgh. Saints at Carolina. Who you got, M?
You know what? I know the Saints played very well last year, but I like what I was looking at when I saw this Carolina playing in the preseason, and I love their young coach. He's feisty. Give me Carolina.
Brian?
I'm going to take Carolina.
Wow. I'm going to go Saints on this one just because I felt like that Carolina game when they played the Jets last week, the Jets had some opportunities to win this game. They just didn't have the pass protection for the young kid back there at quarterback. So I'm gonna go Saints. Denver at Jacksonville. Who you got, M?
Denver, here they come. Welcome to the NFL, Lawrence. You're gonna see a guy named Von Miller. He's gonna be in your jersey, right on top of you. Watch out. Here he comes. Denver.
Who you got, Brian?
Denver. I think they're dominant.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Denver on this one, too. Minnesota at Arizona. You got M?
The Vikings need to show up and show out. I think they need to win this game right now just for statement purposes for the rest of the league and the rest of the year. So I'm going to pick Minnesota Vikings. I got a lot of Minnesota Viking friends of mine. Minnesota Vikings, I'm picking you this week against the Cardinals, all right?
Ryan?
I'm going to take Arizona in their offense. I think it's going to be better than Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Arizona. They're at home. I know that crowd's going to be rocking, and I just think Kyler Murray and that offense is going to be tough to beat.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, but Kirk Cousins is going to say, you like that? You like that?
Well, he might be liking the loss, so we'll see. Atlanta at Tampa Bay.
Come on, man. Tampa.
Yeah.
Do I even have to say? Come on. We don't have to.
Matty Ice,
Stink.
no ice.
Let's say that. Who stinks? Atlanta.
Yeah.
No ice, Matty.
Yeah, but I got to go with Tampa on this one too. Dallas at Los Angeles Chargers.
How about them Cowboys in LA? We're going out there to make a movie first. We're going to make a movie on Saturday. Then we're going to win the game on Sunday. Cowboys.
Ryan?
I'm going to go with the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers. I like the young quarterback. He's playing poise. My fear is Dallas won't be able to come up to the level like they did last week.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers with this one too, just based off of what Brian said. I don't think they're going to be able to play up to the competition level. I mean, they were up for that Patriots game. I think they might have a little letdown this week, but we'll see. If they do win, Zeke is going to have to be a big factor.
He will.
Tennessee at Seattle.
I want Tennessee to win because I need Seattle to lose, but I'm taking Seattle in this game.
Right.
Gonna take Seattle. I'm still concerned with Tennessee, how they're gonna come out looking.
I'm gonna go Tennessee in this one. I think they'll bounce back and play like how they were supposed to play in week 1. And Seattle's in my division, so I need them to lose. Kansas City at Baltimore.
Woo! Listen,
Could be game of the week right here.
it could be game of the week. I'm going Baltimore with all their injuries. Lamar Jackson pulls off the miracle over Pat Mahomes. Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
I'm gonna go Kansas City. I think Lamar will have a good game, but that's gonna be with his legs, not with his arm. But I'm going Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kansas City. Because I feel like last week was a kind of a wake-up game for them. And I think they'll snap into form this week. And they may even blow out Baltimore, believe it or not. We'll see. And then Monday night's game, Detroit at Green Bay. Who you got?
Woo! Listen. Detroit at Green Bay. They're coming to Lambeau Field. I think Aaron Rodgers will be ready to let the league know that I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Green Bay.
All right.
What color am I wearing? Green? Yeah. I'm going with Green Bay.
Green Bay? Yeah, I'm going to have to go with that bad man over there in Green Bay. This could be a blowout as well, just based off of how they played last week. I think they'll come into this week looking to make a statement. But we'll see. If they don't, it's going to be interesting.
Yes, it will.
Real interesting. But, folks, that's our show for tonight. We got to cut it a little bit short tonight. We've got some prior engagements that we need to take care of. We signed up for. So we're gonna call the show here. But we'll be back next week. And,
Absolutely.
we're going to have some more exciting stuff to talk about because, this week's games are going to be really good. So, and then we could talk about our predictions, and we should have the other half of the Jackson 5 back.
Yeah, we'll see. It's kind of like when it was Belle Biv DeVoe, man. They had to break away from New Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, to do the
I don't know
score.
what Aaron and Malcolm are doing there. Somebody's in London trying to launch a solo career. Somebody somewhere else trying to start another business. I don't know, man. But
We'll see if we can get Jermaine and Tito back next week.
Yeah.
But that's our show for tonight.
Thank everybody for watching.
Yep.
We appreciate you. We love all our fans. And thank you for tuning in to XO Sports Talk Live. Woo. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
The Bears are who we thought they were.